Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Lucy's Science Library. It's another Strange Stuff Sundays, this time a bit more of an opinion-based video, and that topic's going to be, do book covers really matter? A big inspiration for me to make this video in the first place is that I've been picking up books with some gorgeous artwork on the covers. Covers like Sin Wu's The Wandering Earths, and recently been getting back into the Orson Scott Card, Ender Saga, and the John Harris covers for those, like Ender in Exile and A War of Gifts. Anyways, though, it got me to thinking, did I buy these books mainly for the story, or did I buy them because they had cool artwork on the cover? And to be honest with you, I genuinely didn't know what motivated it more. So I got curious about the topic in general and wondering, do book covers matter? Does it actually dictate what kinds of stories we pick up and read? To answer this question, I decided to do two things that I hate: research and self-reflection. And let me tell you, researching this specific topic was pretty hard. My college professors would be very disappointed in me. I did find some articles about how beauty affects the mind, and you can definitely check that out. I'm going to have a Psychology Today link down below. But I didn't really find anything that I was looking for in my 20-minute Google search about whether or not book covers impacted the way we buy. At least not anything from a reliable source, just a bunch of book designers saying that it would. So I decided to look at myself and kind of see how I thought about things, and maybe you think about them this way too. Now, I remember when I was a kid, somewhat, that when I was first getting into reading sci-fi in the first place, that I didn't think that I used to care about covers, you know? I liked a lot of vintage sci-fi and older stuff with weird, wild covers like the Edgar Rice Burroughs or the Clifford Simak books that are just all over the place. But in reality, I think I still did even then. It's just, I like the style of the time, that really wild, vintage, aliens, tripod machines kind of look. And looking back at it, I mean, that might be a big reason why a lot of people got into that vintage sci-fi back in the 40s and 30s in the first place. There's a great Nerd Writer 1 video about it, and I also kind of touch on it in my video about vintage SF. But that artwork was really unique for the time, and super outlandish and just out there. So maybe a lot of people got into the genre just because they saw these really garish, weird covers in the first place. And if I look at modern sci-fi now and my own buying habits in regards to it, I still love the artwork. I mean, I'm a lot more open to different types of artwork now, but I'm a particular fan of the Orbit book publisher and some of the gorgeous covers they do. I picked up Forsaken Skies here just because, look at this, isn't that cool? And I mean, the Expanse series too has some gorgeous designs on the covers. Can't remember the artist's name for the sake of recording this video. I'm going to have a link to him down below, and I'm going to have it popping across the screen along with an idiot marker here. But man, some of these artists are crazy, and some of the artwork that they put on these books are a big part about why I pick them up in the first place. And it was this realization that helped me key in on the main point of this video. For myself personally, and I think for a lot of people, book covers matter. They will make or break whether or not I'm willing to check out something new by an author I haven't read or haven't even heard of, maybe. I remember I had a neighbor who was trying to get me to read Kim Stanley Robinson, specifically the Mars series. And when you take a look at those original Mars series book covers, I'm sorry, they're just not that great. But a big part about what motivated me is when I walked into a new bookstore and I saw these really gorgeous, sleek, kind of more minimal designs. I think they look great. And so that's what at least motivated me to read the first one. And Kim Stanley Robinson has had this treatment with a lot of his books. Like this cover of New York 2140, also done by Orbit Books, by the way, that looks amazing compared to the originals. Now, while it may seem childish that we're literally judging books by their covers, I think there's two things that we're doing here that are actually good for the sci-fi genre as a whole. Number one, we're checking out books that we might not otherwise have. You know, if we just saw a blank cover and a random title, would you be more inclined to pick it up than if you saw a giant sandworm or weird alien spaceship on the cover? And number two, and this one's more important to me, we're supporting great sci-fi artists. I mean, half the books we've talked about on this channel so far are super visual and have tons of pictures in the first place. So we're supporting artists like Wayne Barlow and his endeavors, and Tilly Walden and her graphic novels. And there's many other examples too. Modern sci-fi artists exist in a super saturated market, and it can be pretty difficult to break through, what with easily computer-generated book covers and corporate design covers that are, not much to them. So I think it's important whenever there is a good sci-fi artist that also manages to make great covers, like the aforementioned Expanse series, it's important that we support them and we show the market that, hey, we love these, keep making more. Even redesigns of the old classic sci-fi books can be great at getting new people into the genre. Like, think about how many people might have never even heard of A.E. Van Vogt, but then they see this redesign of The Voyage of the Space Beagle, and instead of seeing some crazy 70s wacky artwork, they think, wow, that's mysterious, I wonder what that's about. And I know it seemed like a second ago I was kind of like deucing on minimalistic art, but if you get them in the hands of a good artist like Jim Tierney, like his redesigns of the Dune series, you can have something amazing too that breathes new life into these old books. So at the end of the day, I think it's pretty clear where I stand on this issue. Now granted, a lot of this is opinion based, but I think book covers really do matter for new readers and old readers alike. I think a great book cover can get somebody to read a great book that they might not have otherwise tried had they not seen some fantastic art or beautiful color work or something to that effect. So yeah, that's my main takeaway. I think book covers matter, and I think the artists who make them matter. Leave your opinion down in the comments. I'd love to get a good discussion going about this, because I'm sure there's arguments to be made that a book cover doesn't matter as much as I think it does. Leave your thoughts down below. As always, thanks for watching, and you made it to the end, so you know what's coming. Cute bunny clip. Thanks. Please follow the Instagram, the Facebook, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. I'm monologuing like a regular YouTuber, so on to the clip.
You having fun there, buddy?